Now we have to stay on the other side of it. People bring it up. That could all be tied.
We all decide. Okay. It was talking about.
Good to go, everybody? You would both lead, join me in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation.
United States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible. With
The way's great. Right. All right, we've got some minutes to approve for August 5th. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Financial update.
Okay, the financials that are in the package are, as of August 31st, September aren't complete yet. So just to go over, we have, about 13,217,000 in total cash, of which 10,607,000 is in that. The only, real thing that's gonna change for the month of September and September financials, just so you know, we did book, the Kent MB 1000, which is project that construction costs is going to be about just under $2 million. There, so that'll since that's a bad project, that'll out of the bad money as that gets spent. So I really have some questions.
Any questions? All right, going on the budget?
And that was the budget for 2026. So things in the budget to bring note to, we are hoping to get our $1.5 million from the DDP, which should something early next year. On that first line, there is also $62,000 of what we're anticipating to be reimbursed by the Army Corps of Engineers for finishing the project of Georgetown Miami 40. Then you've got $3,500,000 that should be coming from $2 million from Westchester County and $1.5 million from Putnam counties to keep us going. And the rest of the expenditures on there, the project design, project construction, our budget is by Kevin's estimates of what we should be able to get done in the next 12 months. And the only other interesting things on the budget are the compensation. And the compensation we are going to put out for replacing our previous watershed planner, Corey. Kevin's anticipating putting that out in the next month, so hopefully to have someone on board by, we're figure sometime in January.
Yeah, I think that's about right. If you'll be that we'll have some, maybe get something in January. What we've done in the past was had a like a temporary status on the employee. So that'll take us from January to the next board of directors meeting in May. And at that time, May would be the that's the time that we make the permanent employee in the current depending on performance.
And then the final change in personnel costs is to bring in a new controller, because they will be retiring sometime this in late summer, beginning of fall next year. So are there any questions about this?
Well, I guess the rollover we were just talking about, the rollover money, is that what you're, is that already accounted for in here?
No, because that, you won't know about that, and I believe that Ellen was talking about the approximately $7 million or so that would be left of the 10 million of that money.
What, Vinny, how does that work again? I know you explained it every meeting.
We sent a letter at the end of the last meeting requesting, start talking about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some email traffic on it, I know people are discussing it internally, I haven't get back to them, getting that is.
Yeah, just the date. I'm just wondering when you think.
No, we need
Follow
to,
the process.
we need to go into a new contract with DEP for the funding, and that's what we're looking to do, is push that forward rather than waiting.
Like I said, I sent you email traffic,
So in this
Got the
fiscal year
turnaround.
or next fiscal year or what?
And you kind of let me, when, we talked, a couple weeks ago, that you didn't want to do that, begin the negotiation on that until the new contract got registered.
that would be ideal, I'd have to get back to you and find it.
Is it, do you think it's this fiscal, your fiscal, or before July or after July?
The 10 million or the 7?
Well, both.
I would hope the 10 million would be here before July, I would be surprised that 7 million is in.
The way we'll be operating is that the 10 million will hit soon than the next, hypothetically, let's say 6 months. Then that rollover 7, the actions that we'd like to take is that the ball at least continue to advance while we're spending down that 10 million. That's in that contract, so that there's no time lapse between the conclusion of the 10 million and the start of the next contract.
Does
So
we have to?
we don't expect that 7 million contract to be, that we're probably more in a year's time frame rather than a month's time frame for that.
Well, there's nothing's gonna be a plus. But that money, we don't have to give it back to you, it's gonna roll over, we don't have to cut you a check. And you give it back to us, right?
My understanding of the way it would work, with that 7 million say, is that you would essentially close out the contract that's existing, there would be a return of funds, and then we would. Reassure.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is because we need to make sure the money's here before we're gonna be low on cash. Right, if we have to give them their money back and we don't have the 10 million here.
The 10 million will be here.
10 million.
The year before.
Yeah, it'll be here before.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, can Vinny give us an update, please, on the status of the registration of the contract?
The 10 million?
Yes.
As I understand that would be, we're pushing it to, to the extent that we can from the agency side.
You have any idea of the time?
I really don't.
So and what that means for us internally here is that we'll continue working on the open projects from years 1 through 10 to keep that ball moving. Once the DP is ready to put pen to paper on that, we'll be ready to roll out those projects as soon as possible. But the workflow will continue, certainly. We just will not be able to start anything new until the long series of contracts that we have start advancing to allow us work for years 11 through 15. Because there's the $10 million contract that is in discussion. But then there's also the monies from Westchester County, Putnam County that would help us move the ball forward. So there's a few contracts out there that we have to see get to a milestone before we can start anything new. But we have the existing project list to complete.
And so we'll have to avoid doing fab projects, like probably next year.
Well, I'm just wondering if we know the money's coming, whether we can use some of the 10 million for Fed, just because it's an accounting thing on our side.
There, but it's good. I'd be reluctant to roll out too many fat projects at the beginning. That would be addressed with those other funds. But I'd like to see happen as we backward those fat projects. More towards when we'll have the opportunity to have a contract that is only fed.
So if we do anything that's Fed in the interim and we don't have the money.
Yeah.
When the money finally does come in, it's assuming it's for years 10 through 15 or 11 through 15, whatever we're counting now. That we can allocate that money directly to the money that came in, even though we started it before the contracts are resolved.
You're talking about the rollover.
I'm trying to figure out, yeah.
We should be careful to structure any new contract with that kind of provision. In the past, we have backdated effective dates of the contract to allow for that reimbursement. This $10 million one, for some reason, that retroactive kind of thing did not make it in there, and I'm not sure why. So we should just be careful when we negotiate any new contract if we want to backdate before the contract registers, we have to make sure that's in the contract.
Well, I think it'd be our benefit. Not that, because on the, look. Your timelines aren't always accurate, right?
Correct.
Sometimes it takes a while, so.
Yeah, I mean, we were under the impression that that contract would be registered by this fall, and so it seems like that's not happening, and I'm wondering what is this something internal to DEP that's causing a financial problem, or what are the things that need to happen to move it forward? And I'm sorry, Vinny, I can't hear you very well.
Well, I just, I mean, let me say that the city of New York is an enormous entity and, there are, a number of snags you can hit along the way. I just, it's almost impossible to hit a target, to give you a date and date certain. I just, we say fall, we have internal documents that say December. But, there's so many unknowns and there's, not an incredible ability for even as an agency to push when they reach certain points. So, senior staff is aware that this contract is out there. This contract is also in there with a number of other contracts related to that DEC funding. The highest levels of our bureau and agency are, aware that these are priority contracts and they are working to the extent that they can to push them through.
So the contract's going through. On the Fed one, we want to make sure we can go back to the start. We want to make sure we can use it for projects 11 through 15, again, whatever year is going to be in there. But even if we started working on it before the contract's resolved.
Correct. When that negotiation starts, there's in the contract an effective date, and just be clear in the contract that an effective date is backdated through.
Or it needs to say for any project for 11 through 15, or however that's worded. Regardless of when it starts.
Yeah, but that's different.
The quick date is January 1st, 26, that's today.
So that way, too, if you have something, if it's worded that way, if you have something like that, you want
That's
to
the date you
start.
put in the
Paperwork,
document.
things cash. When the money comes in, we can go back to expenditure.
Right.
I'm
Vinny,
sorry.
what's preventing us from working on the contract right now?
I put the request up to flagpole. I know, like I said, maybe the only contract out there. I have to get back, I find.
And who do you work for exactly, Dan?
Say again?
Who do you? That may be the problem, if you're waiting for them to talk to you, because then it's. No, it used to be like David Warren and those guys, who do you report into? Who do you work for?
David Warren took a different role.
I know.
The woman Shiloh Williams took the position up.
Yes, but is that who you kind of,
Ultimately, I report to Mike Meyer, reports to John Schwartz, who reports to
Joe.
Shiloh, who reports to Paul Rumch, who reports to the commission.
It's a lot of guns.
I know. Let's try it.
well, I'm assuming Mike.
I gotta get to I gotta get further up the ladder.
I assume you're in the same organization, Steve, right on the
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder. Okay.
Can I get a motion to approve the budget?
Yeah, by the way, we talked about this on the executive meetings with finance folks and stuff, so I'm happy with it. We'll through it quite in detail.
Let me just ask one, the wastewater's funded. Did we do it? Not do it?
It's not finished.
It's not finished.
Yeah.
It's not finished. We're looking to restart back up with what requiring, say they changed some of the personnel that was working on
I
it.
think given Ken Coldrunner left.
Pick it back up. Smoking.
They're gonna flip all of this stuff.
We probably should.
Yeah,
I think everybody's gonna be a little bit different.
I hope, one can. All right, yeah, it's fine.
detailed conversation with the folks at what regard to
Yeah,
increased performance.
yeah, because we didn't pay him anything, right?
You paid him 70 grand, right? Was it more than that?
Yeah, not that much more, but it's.
That bill we paid him a long time ago.
No, it's just, okay.
It was like a first, but I don't think we really
No,
got.
no, I know, they just put together what we all. Put it on that exercise, I'm on some.
Yep.
I'll take it.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. All right, we have a, let's go this
List
side.
of meeting dates for 2026. One of the questions that, has been kicked around a little bit internally is the first meeting in January, whether we want to keep it January 6th or we want to move it to the 13th. Give incoming supervisors a little bit more time to adjust.
I think this.
Smack them when they're brand new, I mean, just. Who's new, who's gonna be a new supervisor?
I know.
Nobody's running against me, nobody's running against him, anybody running against you, you're not
Oh,
gonna
Russ.
lose. Ed isn't even a supervisor, who cares? Alan, nobody's running against you.
Could be
Tony?
the mayor.
Nope, so it's gonna be us. Right?
Friends up for election.
You have someone running? against-
So why? Alright, well,
Well, what do you
we don't
think?
care about them. They can-
Well, they don't care if it's January 6th or not, let the new guys.
Yeah.
We're not gonna lose.
Right.
Never know.
I don't know,
think
whatever
the
you
most
want.
important thing for them to learn in their first week in office is to be so that's good.
Informational meeting, go to this thing.
If it's them, they're fine, if it's not, they don't care, and when the person doesn't, show, we'll give them all the role.
You're not, you guys aren't gonna lose, but we should do for, when you have a bunch of new people, have Danish and everything else, just like that, this is a good meeting, I'll come back. Pizza, next one, nothing. Just chains on every
I think
seat.
you should tell all the new people they're responsible for all the fees.
Yeah.
Make it their budget.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alright.
Jackie. Jackie, you want to repeat that?
I said, all the new people that come in, tell them they're strictly responsible, just those people. They have to pay for all the fees now.
That works for me.
Right?
Alright, so we'll leave it to 6. Yeah. Alright, so somebody want to make a motion on the meeting dates?
Second.
All in favor?
Alright.
So they're approved. Kevin?
So we are, we're wrapping up the colored spreadsheet for you guys with Flex projects, for years 1 through 10. Currently are sitting at 164 kilograms to be submitting specifically YME 40, which is a 30 kilogram project to get us up to shy of 800. The projects that we have that are open in construction right now actually will jump us up pretty close to the 900 number pretty quickly. The goal is to wrap up many of the projects that are in the yellow, if not all of them, for spring, summer construction of 26. And wrap up 1 through 10, and then you'll never see this list again. That's the idea, at least. So we'll keep pushing ahead with these projects and this larger packet is again 1 through 10 as well. Reflects everything we've done so far within the corporation. And again, this will just be dropped down to a single number moving into the future, and we'll condense the handouts that you guys can see. You'll see all these projects, of course, your O&M and maintenance requirements. So we have to make sure not to forget about them, but in terms of monthly updates and quarterly updates on them, the idea is we'll flush these out, concentrate new projects. As Warren's kind of hitting on while we were a few minutes ago, while we were discussing funding, we have to draw pretty close attention to front loading non-FAD projects as best we can for years 11 through 15 for the program. We're still in the point of collecting new projects for everyone to make sure that we're going forward with the best ones that we can. At this point, if I have a project that's in a FAD basin that is the best project, we're going to move it forward. But we have to be very careful not to front load bad projects within the program. It's just not our best interest. We are expecting to have The budget worked out for 2026 with DEP to begin construction on any open projects that we have availability for. But 26 on the most part will be heavy design, so that we're lined up in 27 for a more active construction season for those projects. Now keep in mind, 2026, I believe is technically year 13, if my memory is correct, for under the new permit, so we have to get going quickly once this funding comes in, to at least make sure that we've got good progress towards the 5-year permit that technically began January 1st, 2024. So what this all comes back to is we need you guys to continue bringing in new project opportunities to the corporation. I can't say that enough. We've had good feedback from a lot of the towns, but while they are good projects, they are private property projects often. So a lot of times it might be a ditch between two properties that you're asking us for help, which could be a good project, absolutely. But private property projects come with a lot of difficulty in executing that work. The way our new contracts are going to be set up with DEP is if a project does not go to completion, we cannot fund it using the DEP money, which means we have to go to a reserve fund that we typically are trying to save only for keeping the lights on here. So where we kind of operated with let's just say a 75% success rate on previously within the program, we've got to be pretty close to 100% moving forward, which means what we'd like to see you guys provide to us, and trust me, I'm turning over every rock we can to get more municipally owned parcels that we do projects on, town halls, libraries. If you think we can get 100% success rate at your schools in some way we can help, I'm all ears. But we have to start hitting on a little bit more of those projects that we can guarantee are going to be successful. We do have some, enough to get moving, but I'd like to see that category kind of get filled in a little bit more as we're closing out this year and moving forward. So please keep in mind, I will write a memo to all of you, send it to you, so that you have it fresh in your box and you can share it with either your highway departments or your specifically town supervisors, mayors that are going to join us today. But it's keep in mind, please, as we move forward to lock in those municipal sites that we think could be a good option for us. We are underway, as I said, with MB 1000 earlier, which is a 70-kilogram project that hopefully will wrap up in the spring. And that's a big push and a big cost for us, which we're excited to get moving on. I think we'll find ourselves exceeding the 920-kilogram number for years 1 through 10. DEC is perfectly fine with us going over and applying the credits towards the next cycle. As we get closer, we'll keep DEC and DEP in that conversation to show where we are, because everybody understands for us to hit 920 on the dot, it's a little hard to do. But goal will be certain that maybe we hit 925, at most 930, depending on how projects shuffle out. If there's any questions on the program, please let me know.
Just have a quick question again on the FAD. Is it FAD and connected basins? Is that how it's going to be worded?
I think that's the current FAD contract that we have. Whether or not we'll have had discussions with the DEP, because as part of that contract, there was X amount of dollars reserved for FAD specific, and then X amount of dollars reserved for connector. And whether or not we continue some type of ratio with that, I think has to be part of the negotiation that we have.
Well, Vinny almost tried to talk twice.
No, I was just gonna say, I think it's gonna be structured similar to the restrictions on the current contract with Kansas. It's impossible to see there for the stuff paper. So, negotiation.
If he already knows what the contract
It's
is.
impossible, but it's going to be worded this way.
I don't know what the contract is, I think that's what we have to say.
Yeah, I think part of the problem with FAD is you own a lot of the properties that need to fix, or the DOT does or something.
You know, I do know if it's coming from the Fed source, it's gotta be spent in Fed basis, that much I do. I can say it.
All right, Kevin, you all set?
Yeah.
Other business? Any board member have any other business they wish to bring up?
Oh, actually, I could go just one item going out, just want to make sure I touch on everybody again. The past few years, Westchester County has been supporting the Westchester municipalities for funding for the O&M program. You will not have that backstop for 2025. I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. There's one last round of checks that'll go through after we complete a review of the 2024 O&M with Millie and Westchester County. And once we're ready through that process and answer any questions the county has, we'll distribute those. But keep in mind, you're in Westchester, that when you receive a bill likely in March is when we release them generally. There's no backing for you guys, and this will be the first year for Westchester County since the beginning of the program, and you will not have that additional fund source to help. So just keep that in mind.
Do you have, those numbers, like it's, you know, we might need to budget for.
Yeah, to give you a way to start.
Yeah, if you could send that.
It's gonna be about what it was last year, so.
Well, it's not the first time, but we weren't backstopped forever. We were writing checks for
For the
bunch
first
of-
year.
for the first
Why is that
5 or
changed?
6 years.
There was
3.2 million or whatever we had,
$325,000 that was reserved from Westchester County.
I think it started,
Fund.
I think it's
and
like
then
last
it's just
month,
been
maybe
expected. It's been
even less.
since 2015.
that sounds right, 10 years.
Yeah, so it's been about 10 years of it, and at an average, pretty close to $100,000, we're just, that fund source is just used up. Certainly if the municipalities are interested in getting that ownership of the county, I recommend you.
That's what
reach out.
Peter Parsons said.
I mean, we did we renegotiated
I don't remember.
in 2021, but so maybe it's only been 5 years, I thought before I started working for the county, there was a previous contract.
Yeah, it was with Peter, when they made it, but I don't remember that.
Oh,
With
so then
Peter,
it's only been.
it's with Peter Parsons, which was probably
Yeah, so
5
then
years.
it's only been 5 years.
It was 300 some odd thousand, I think.
Because we were writing checks
27, you said that's.
before that. I mean, I wrote it, you know, now kids can write our own envelope, we net it out to like $75, we'll write the check.
Well, Kevin, is it possible to send out the estimates to the municipalities in Westchester? Can you also provide what percentage or what the amount that the county dollars has offset for us?
What's that, 100% every year?
Yeah, so,
Has it been 100%?
yeah,
Because I clearly remember writing checks.
so what happens is every town writes a check.
Then we send them the check back.
And then it comes into pot, so everybody comes into the pot to pay. And then when it comes for us to determine who's going to get reimbursed, every Westchester municipality has been fully reimbursed. So if you sent in 23,000, we send you 23,000 back. And that's, so everyone has written a check, but then it goes back. And but in the future.
I don't remember the check.
it's not gonna-
I don't remember the check on that. No, the last couple of years, right, like there's some, sure, we did a lot of O and M, right, we've set the stuff where it's okay, we didn't actually, we've covered our, what was our assigned cost and then some, right, we were actually getting a check back just because we did, you know, $20,000 worth of O and M work, but we only owe 15, you know, so. It's the other reason you get a check back, not because,
Yeah.
that stopped, just because you did more O and M work than.
Yourself.
Right.
Right. But I can give everybody a snapshot of what you've done. And have renew an update on how the whole thing works. So it's fresh in everybody.
Thank you.
Good, other business. We put Vinny on the hot seat a little bit here, so we're gonna put Gil on the hot seat. Any,
Waiting for that.
yeah, any update from Putnam County?
Well, good news and the bad news is the same. My lawyers are talking to your lawyer.
Are they actually talking?
They are, everybody got.
She's saying no.
You don't, their documents you don't have.
I haven't gotten anything, other than an acknowledgement that they were working on it. That's all. And that they would let us know.
That's good.
Yeah.
So if there's something they need, we're happy to provide it, but I haven't had anybody reach out looking for any other information.
I'll talk to them.
We would appreciate it. It's been a while, man.
Everything's approved with the lawyer, Rich.
I know.
Why, don't go over my head, Kevin Burke, so it's okay.
And I have.
Wait, you're-
Any other business? Well, hearing none. Entertain a
With a
motion.
motion to adjourn second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody enjoy the beautiful day it is out there.
Yes. Rain in the morning.